We all know them flora to fauna, right? We understand that. But there is nothing like a human being. Because لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. We're the ultimate of the creation, the climax of the creation, the pinnacle of the creation, the most beautiful, the highest esteemed creation of Allah. So look at three things. Highest quality of Allah, Ar-Rahman. Highest source of knowledge, Al-Quran. And highest, most beautiful, most prominent, most eminent creation of Allah. Al-Insan. Why? Why? Elephants are so huge, ginormous in size. Why? You must have heard about dinosaurs, right? You might know rhinoceros. You might know so many species so big, giraffes such a long neck, parrots so beautiful. Why are we the most powerful creation? Why are we the most eminent of the creation? There has to be a reason. The next reason is coming up. Allamahul Bayan. We have the power of speech. It's the power of speech that sets the narrative for the world. You might be aware about the conflict in the Middle East, the invasion and occupation of Palestine. You might be aware about the invasion and occupation of Syria and Yemen and Iraq and Afghanistan. Do you ever think, why is it that every time we hear a bombing, we hear a missile being dropped, we hear some invasion, some occupation, it's always a Muslim country? Why? Why? Because there's a fight between good and evil. وَقُلْ جَاءُ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلَ إِنَّ بَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُقًا. Whenever truth and falsehood strike, whenever they fight, whenever they come in contact, whenever they collide, falsehood by its nature is bound to perish. But it's still not perishing. Why? Why is it that the US and the Israel and the West and their media and their military industrial complex and their pharma industrial complex, why is it that they control our food supplies, they control our thought processes? Why? There's a reason why. There was a time when we used to be the pinnacle of civilization. There was a time when we had algebra. There was a time when we created the robotics, when we created the machine learning, AI, and first computers and flying machines. There are more than 10,000 inventions, the camera, the surgery, the scientific method that was created by Muslims. What happened? The things that happened are we took knowledge for granted. We took knowledge for granted. I'm going to talk about a couple of things before I get into English and importance of it. There was a time when there were prisoners of war. There were battles. You might have heard about Uhud and Badr and other battles, right? They were prisoners of war. They were taken by Muslims, by the army of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And there was a concept of ransom. Ransom means the money that you give in order to release your prisoners, right? And some of them were poor who couldn't afford to give ransom. They were kuffar, they were mushrikun in Makkah, but they couldn't afford to pay ransom. But they had one thing, knowledge. And how did they get to make sure that release is finalized? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them to teach the knowledge, the writing,